Hi everyone, welcome back to Bible in a Year. My name is Natalie and today we're on day 138. I'm so happy that you're here today. I hope you guys are all doing great. We're going to be reading out of Numbers chapter 29, Isaiah chapter 25, Matthew chapter 15, and Psalm chapter 84, but only verses 1 through 4 today. So, but before we start, I wanted to say that in yesterday's reading, we read about when Peter went to go meet Jesus on the water. It's a piece of history written in Matthew. And I had done a video back, I think it might have been more closer to November. But I wanted to let you know that I spent a little time just kind of piecing each moment of that experience out and kind of explaining it in a more thought-provoking way other than just reading about Peter walking on the water to meet Jesus. So the name of that video is called Jesus Comes to Us. So if you're interested, go ahead and check it out and tell me what you think in the comments. I'm interested. So let's get started with Numbers chapter 29. Freddie has some opinions today. Yes, my dear. All right, here we go. In the 7th month, on the first day of the month, you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no regular work. It is a day of blowing of trumpets to you. You shall offer a burnt offering for a pleasant aroma to Yahweh, 1 bull, 1 ram, 7 male lambs a year old without defect, and their meal offering, fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 for the bull, 2/10 for the ram, and 1/10 for every lamb of the 7 lambs, and 1 male goat for a sin offering, to make atonement for you. In addition to the burnt offering of the new moon, with its meal offering, and the continual burnt offering, with its meal offering, and their drink offerings, according to their ordinance, for a pleasant aroma, an offering made by fire to Yahweh. On the 10th day of this 7th month, you shall have a holy convocation. You shall afflict your souls. You shall do no kind of work, but you shall offer a burnt offering to Yahweh for a pleasant aroma, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 7 male lambs a year old, all without defect, and their meal offering, fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 for the bull, 2/10 for the 1 ram, 1/10 for every lamb and of the 7 lambs, 1 male goat for a sin offering, and in addition to the sin offering of atonement, and the continual burnt offering, and its meal offering, and their drink offerings. On the 15th day of the 7th month, you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no regular work. You shall keep a feast to Yahweh 7 days. You shall offer a burnt offering, an offering made by fire of pleasant aroma to Yahweh, 13 young bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs a year old, all without defect, and their meal offering, fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 for every bull of the 13 bulls, 2/10 for each ram of the 2 rams, and 1/10 for every lamb of the 14 lambs, and 1 male goat for a sin offering, in addition to the continual burnt offering, its meal offering, and its drink offering. On the 2nd day, you shall offer 12 young bulls, 2 rams, and 14 male lambs a year old without defect, and their meal offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, according to their number, after the ordinance, and 1 male goat for a sin offering, in addition to the continual burnt offering with its meal offering and their drink offerings. On the third day, 11 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs, and a year old without defect, and their meal offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs according to their number after the ordinance, and 1 male goat for a sin offering, in addition to the continual burnt offering and its meal offering and its drink offering. On the fourth day, 10 bulls, 2 rams, 14 lambs, a year old without defect, their meal offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, and for the rams, and for the lambs, according to their number, after the ordinance, and 1 male goat for a sin offering, in addition to the continual burnt offering, its meal offering, and its drink offering. On the fifth day, 9 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs, a year old without defect, and their meal offering and their drink offering, offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, according to their number, after the ordinance, and 1 male goat for a sin offering, in addition to the continual burnt offering and its meal offering and its drink offering. On the sixth day, 8 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs, a year old without defect, and their meal offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, according to their number after the ordinance, and 1 male goat for a sin offering, in addition to the continual burnt offering, its meal offering, and the drink offerings of it. On the seventh day, 7 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs, a year old without defect, and their meal offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, according to their number after the ordinance, and 1 male goat for a sin offering, in addition to the continual burnt offering, its meal offering, and its drink offering. On the 8th day, you shall have a solemn assembly. You shall do no regular work, but you shall offer a burnt offering, an offering made by fire, a pleasant aroma to Yahweh. 1 bull, 1 ram, 7 male lambs, a year old without defect, their meal offering and their drink offerings for the bull, for the ram, and for the lambs, shall be according to their number after the ordinance, and 1 male goat for a sin offering, in addition to the continual burnt offering with its meal offering and its drink offering. You shall offer these to Yahweh in your set feasts, in addition to your vows and your free will offerings for your burnt offerings, your meal offerings, your drink offerings, and your peace offerings. Moses told the children of Israel according to all that Yahweh commanded Moses. All right, Isaiah chapter 25. I think it's important to read that. Again, sometimes it's so tempting to just kind of skip over everything, but just the exhaustion of reading every single detail, every single thing that God would have them do, which again is completely reasonable. It is reasonable. God did ask this of them. But then we also read, I believe it was in Isaiah, where God actually says, you know what, I don't want this stuff anymore. I don't want your new moons and your bulls and your blood and all this stuff. So, if we just read that portion, it would maybe sound like, well, gosh, you're ungrateful, Lord, or something like that. But God knows it was too much. It was too much for us. It shouldn't have been, but it was. And so God said, nope, okay, I don't want it anymore. I don't want it anymore. I'm sending Jesus. Anyways, sorry. You probably want to keep going, huh? So Isaiah chapter 25. Yahweh, you are my God. I will exalt you. I will praise your name, for you have done wonderful things, things planned long ago in complete faithfulness and truth. You have made a city into a heap, a fortified city into a ruin, a palace of strangers to be no city. It will never be built. Therefore, a strong people will glorify you. A city of awesome nations will fear you. For you have been a stronghold to the poor, a stronghold to the needy in his distress, a refuge from the storm, a shade from the heat, when the blast of the dreaded ones is like a storm against the wall. As the heat in a dry place, you will bring down the noise of strangers. As the heat by the shade of a cloud, the song of the dreaded ones will be brought low. In this mountain, Yahweh of armies will make all peoples a feast of choice meat, a feast of choice wines, of choice meat full of marrow, of well-refined choice wines. He will destroy in this mountain the surface of the covering that covers all peoples, and the veil that is spread over all nations. He has swallowed up death forever. The Lord Yahweh will wipe away tears from off all the faces. He will take the reproach of his people away from them, off all the earth, for Yahweh has spoken it. It shall be said in that day, behold, this is our God. We have waited for him, and he will save us. This is Yahweh. We have waited for him. He will be glad and rejoice in his salvation. For Yahweh's hand will rest in this mountain. Moab will be trodden down in his place, even like straw is trodden down in the water of the dunghill. He will spread out his hands in the middle of it, like one who swims spreads out hands to swim. But his pride will be humbled together with the craft of his hands. He has brought the high fortress of your walls down, laid low, and brought to the ground, even to the dust. It's beautiful. All right, Matthew chapter 15. Then Pharisees and scribes came to Jesus from Jerusalem, saying, "Why do your disciples disobey the tradition of the elders? For they don't wash their hands when they eat bread." He answered them, "Why do you also disobey the commandment of God because of your tradition? For God commanded, 'Honor your father and your mother,' and 'He who speaks evil of father or mother, let him be put to death.' But you say, 'Whoever may tell his father or his mother, whatever help you might otherwise have gotten from me is a gift devoted to God, he shall not honor his father or mother.' You have made the commandment of God void because of your tradition. You hypocrites! Well did Isaiah prophesy of you, saying, 'These people draw near to me with their mouth and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. And they worship me in vain, teaching as doctrine rules made by men.'" He summoned the multitude and said to them, "Hear and understand. That which enters into the mouth doesn't defile the man, but that which proceeds out of the mouth, this defiles the man." Then the disciples came and said to him, "Do you know that the Pharisees were offended when they heard you saying this?" But he answered, "Every plant which my heavenly Father didn't plant will be uprooted. Leave them alone. They are blind guides of the blind. If the blind guide the blind, both will fall into a pit." Peter answered him, "Explain the parable to us." So Jesus said, "Do you also not understand? Don't you understand that whatever goes into the mouth passes into the belly and then out of the body? But the things which proceed out of the mouth come out of the heart, and they defile the man. For out of the heart come evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, sexual sins, thefts, false testimony, and blasphemies. These are the things which defile the man, but to eat with unwashed hands doesn't defile the man." Jesus went out from there and withdrew into the region of Tyre and Sidon. Behold, a Canaanite woman came out from those borders and cried, saying, "Have mercy on me, Lord, you Son of David. My daughter is severely possessed by a demon." But he answered her not a word. His disciples came and begged him, saying, "Send her away, for she cries after us." But he answered, "I wasn't sent to anyone but the lost sheep of the house of Israel." But she came and worshipped him, saying, "Lord, help me." But he answered, "It is not appropriate to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs." But she said, "Yes, Lord, but even the dogs eat the crumbs which fall from their master's table." When Jesus answered her, "Woman, great is your faith. Be it done to you even as you desire." And her daughter was healed from that hour. Jesus departed from there and came near to the Sea of Galilee. And he went up on the mountain and sat there. Great multitudes came to him, having with them the lame, blind, mute, maimed, and many others, and they put them down at his feet. He healed them, so that the multitude wondered when they saw the mute speaking, the injured healed, the lame walking, and the blind seeing, and they glorified the God of Israel. Jesus summoned his disciples and said, "I have compassion on the multitudes, because they have continued with me now 3 days and have nothing to eat. I don't want to send them away fasting, or they might faint on the way." The disciples said to him, "Where could we get so many loaves in a deserted place as to satisfy so great a multitude?" And Jesus said to them, "How many loaves do you have?" They said, 7, and a few small fish. He commanded the multitude to sit down on the ground, and he took the 7 loaves and the fish. He gave thanks and broke them and gave to the disciples, and the disciples to the multitudes. They all ate and were filled. They took up 7 baskets full of the broken pieces that were left over. Those who ate were 4,000 men, in addition to women and children. Then he sent the multitudes away, got into the boat, and came into the borders of Magdala. Oh, so every single time I read that passage, I can identify with that woman because, who am I to have anything? I'm just a girl. Who am I to have anything special? And here Jesus has his ministry, he has his instruction and what he needs to be doing, and she challenges him and agrees, basically agreeing, yeah, who am I? But even the dogs get the crumbs. What if she hadn't said that? it's okay for us to go in prayer. It doesn't always have to be a prayer of whatever is your will. I mean, yes, absolutely, whatever is God's will. But when I read that, I acknowledge that it's okay to question God and say, but what about this? And then wait for his answer. I don't know. Closing out in Psalm chapter 84, verses 1 through 4. That's it. Why? This is for the chief musician on an instrument of Gath, a psalm by the sons of Korah. How lovely are your dwellings, Yahweh of armies. My soul longs and even faints for the courts of Yahweh. My heart and my flesh cry out for the living God. Yes, the sparrow has found a home, and the swallow a nest for herself where she may have her young. Near your altars, Yahweh of armies, my King and my God. Blessed are those who dwell in your house. They are always praising you. Yeah, we can close on that. Folks, thank you so much for stopping by today. I'm so happy that we could be serenaded by Freddie? Hello? Do you see how he is every time? If I just leave him alone? He just talks on his own, sings a song, but the second I'm like, hi, Fred, he's quiet. So, jeez. Thank you guys for stopping by. I hope you have a fantastic day today. Please come on back for tomorrow, which will be day 139. Looking forward to it, and I will see you then. Bye.